What's up, folks? I hope you're okay. Welcome to today's video. Now, today we are going to be hitting a powerlifting workout, and it's week number 3, and we are hitting workout number 4. Now, I am going to be hitting low bar squats, I'm going to be hitting close grip bench press, and I'm going to be hitting deadlifts. With the low bar squats, I'm going to be recording those, and then I'm going to be talking through how to perform the low bar squat, the potential benefits of a low bar squat as opposed to a high bar squat, the position, the technique. I'm not actually going to be recording the close grip bench press or the deadlift. I'm just going to be taking my time, talk through the squat with you, give you an understanding of the benefits and kind of the trade-offs, and then we're just going to leave the video there. So we're going to get down to it. I'm going to head to the gym, I'm going to change, and then we're going to get into the workout. So I will catch you in the next clip. So whenever it comes to working out, there's a few things that you've got to take into consideration. Number one is making sure that you perform a warm-up. So I'll always do maybe 5-10 minutes on a piece of cardio equipment. Depending on what my workout is will dictate kind of what cardio equipment I use personally. And then I'll always go through some movement stretches, be it leg swings, be it these TRX, IYNT stretches, just to really open up the front of the hip, the front of the chest, the front of the shoulder, get myself moving in a lunge pattern before I start heading into my warm-up sets. Now, whenever I go into my warm-up sets, I always make sure that I'm deliberate with the practice. So I'll always do the kind of routine that I'll go through with regards kind of 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate, whatever it may be, up until I get to my working weight. It sets the tone of the workout. Now I want to look at the mechanics of a low bar squat, and as you can see here, front squats, the knees go very far forward compared to the toe. Back squats, they go a little bit less further forward, and low bar squats, they go even less forward. Now if we look at the spine angle, we're very upright with the front squat, we're leaning forward slightly with the back squat, and then even further forward with the low bar squat, down to that midline. Now you can see it here, probably the warm-up weight, I don't go as far forward as my working weight. But when you start to get into it a little bit more, I've got a good lean forward. As you can see here in the text, it's all about being mechanical efficiency. Is the bar having a relationship with the middle of the foot? So we're going vertical to that foot line. In this video angle, you're going to be able to see that I'm using lifting shoes. I've got knee wraps on. I've got a belt on, and you can also see in this video quite a good angle that I'm placing the bar resting across the rear delt and the body of the scapulars, okay, the shoulder blades. And you can see here in the text, it's racked on the deltoids for a front squat, the bar shifts to the traps on the high bar squat, and it's even lower on the rear delts or the spine of the scapula in the low bar squat. So you can really see that here. I've got the bar quite low down. You can see I've got a little bit more of a lean forward now because that weight is starting to pick up. All the aids are there just to simply help with the mechanical movement and being able to keep the knees lubricated. When we're looking at the mechanical differences, we use primarily the quads and the glutes for a more upright squat. And when it comes to a low bar squat, we use more of the hamstrings and the posterior chain of the back as well to force that bar up. We're starting to get into the last kind of area of warm-up sets. Now you can see here I've got two and 3/4 plates on the bar. I'm really starting to get that lean forward now compared to before, and we're just really talking about the stress on the kind of anterior body compared to the posterior body here with the low bar squat. So predominantly it will be quadriceps and then slight hamstring activation in the high bar squat, and in the low bar squat it's predominantly going to be hamstrings with a slight activation of quads in that low bar squat as well. And finally, just a couple more reps, really just focusing on getting that form nice and tight, keeping the stomach nice and clean. I want to talk through something called the Valsalva effect. And if you've never heard of this, it's something that can be quite effective when it comes to force production in your movements. The Valsalva effect is quite simply that when you get set into position and you're about to begin the movement, you take a big deep breath in and you hold it in the stomach. And you're essentially, with the belt, you're pushing against the belt with the stomach. You're holding the breath in as you go down, and as you get closer to the top again, you start to breathe out. Okay, you take a big deep breath in, lowering down, driving on up, and then breathe out at the top. Now, there's some benefits to this, like I mentioned previously. You've got the increasing ability to drive force to the working muscles. You can get them firing a little bit more. The trade-off can be the fact that you increase your blood pressure when you're doing an exercise. Now, when you're looking at longer duration of sets, that can be a difficulty with regards to sustaining, being able to create that force and that pressure. One thing I don't use when I perform squats, certainly with low bar squats, I don't have any wrist wraps. It's not the fact that I don't perform the movement without any. I've never actually tried it, and I did find with these low bar squats, as I'm starting to get heavier now, that I do find that the wrists are starting to ache, maybe get a little bit too much stress going through them. You can certainly see here the wrist position, that it's sitting quite far back and it's quite a lot of stress going through the wrist. But it's something that I'm going to look into and maybe look at changing. Now, this angle, you can really see that I am starting to get a good lean forward, and it is just down to the bar position, keeping it along that midline of the foot, placing stress through the hamstrings, really just focus on driving up, creating that stress and that tension, and I'm really pleased with how these powerlifting workouts have been going. So I'll see you in the next clip. Right folks, well I hope you enjoyed that workout, kind of the talk about the squats, the benefits, the trade-offs. It's something that I've wanted to do for some time because I think people need to understand about how to perform movements. So it may be a case that I do start performing kind of performing these videos, bring in these videos where I can share that kind of content, technique, science-based evidence, kind of influence, and why you perform the movement, what the benefits, the trade-offs, hand positions, techniques, all that kind of stuff, and that you can really start to apply to your workouts and you can get the benefit from as well. So please do go ahead and like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with another video on how to perform a movement. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care.